What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Now, I have a love-hate relationship with this machine, and by that I mean I want to love it, I want to think it's amazing. The machine I'm talking about is the FKONE. I've had that machine for quite some time. I've had it for ages, actually. Killer Inc were kind enough to send me one so I can give away on our channel, which we did, and they also sent me another one that I can test and I can review. Alright, so first of all, the machine comes in a nice case. It is a travel case. It's rather large. In the case you get the machine, you get a charger, you also get one of these foam grips, and you get one of these roll O-ring, no rolls. They're basically, I would say, a afterthought upon designing the machine, because obviously when you design a product, you're going to want something like a pen machine to have an anti-roll feature in there like a lot of other companies do, but they didn't with the FK Flux or the FKONE. But they did come out with something you can purchase, which is a rubber no-roll thingy, and it's silicone. You put it around the machine and then it stops it from rolling down. I'm not a fan, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. I feel like it's a waste of money and it's a waste of rubber, and all they needed to do was put a little bit of a notch in the machine. But anyway, you get one to try out and you can see how useless they are, or how pointless they are, just as I have. These, however, the foam covers, I've had them and used them in the past, and they are good. I use them for smaller machines that I need to make a little bit thicker. They're quite comfy, they're foamy, happy days. However, if you're going to be using disposable grips like these, then you're not going to need them. Now, the disposable grips that they have with the FKONE works across all the machines. It works with the Flux, it works with the Flux Max, and basically any... Ooh, that's a bit squeaky. Very squeaky. Anything that's got the same kind of thread as a Flux type machine. And they're comfortable to use. They've got loads of different ones. I think the new ones are the Ergo Shield. You also get O-rings, just in case you need to change the O-rings. And actually, fucking yes, I've been saying this for ages, you get a spare ratchet, because the ratchets on these machines, they do tend to wear out. I don't know, I think that's maybe a flawed design. After using a Flux long term, I feel like the one thing that lets them down really, one of the things that lets them down is the fact that these click or ratchet systems are plastic, they weigh down. And when you look at a lot of other machines out there that may be cheaper on the market, they have like these metal ball bearings and they're going to last longer. And I don't understand why a product is being made where you need to replace these little things and you can't replace the main working features of it, like replacing the motors yourself or changing the cams and so on. But yeah, so that's what you get. And other than the little bits and bobs that you get with it, like a charger, 2 batteries, which are the Panasonic green batteries, these little bad boys. Generally I use a 3.5, but to try and get an all-round kind of vibe, I went with a 4mm stroke, because I think the other one that they get is a 3mm, which will be better for black and grey and so on. But this machine, price-wise, you are going to be looking at around about £587, I think. Let me double check. Oh well, okay, so excluding VAT is £489.95. Including VAT is £587.94. Now, in comparison to a lot of the FKONE's products, this is a budget-friendly tattoo machine that they've produced. However, in the grand scheme of the tattoo world, I still think that the price could be better. In my opinion, looking at what they've made an all-in-one piece where you can swap the batteries out. You haven't got the motorbolt system, so if the power part breaks, you can't swap that out and change it. Like, what I thought would have been great is a power bolt, which has that bit on there, and you can swap the battery out. That would have been perfection. But they have gone with a very simple kind of design whilst trying to maintain that ergonomic feel. Price-wise, should it be £587? I don't know. I think it could be cheaper. I would say, with the market that we're in at the moment, I honestly feel that something like this should be cheaper. I would go and say maybe £400, including VAT, is probably a better ballpark for something like this, especially after using it. Adjust my camera. My chair was too high. So my love-hate relationship with this machine is I really enjoy using it. I feel like I'm able to tattoo everything that I want with this machine. I'm able to do nice line work. I'm able to do black and grey. I'm able to do colour. I've even done a comparison, and that video will come out where I got this machine and a couple of others, and I tattooed one person, a load of colour work on it, just to see, you know, if it's more efficient and so on, or just see how they balance out. And, you know, it does really kind of, you know, stand up there with a lot of the other machines and a lot of its other competitors. So it puts colour in nice, puts black and grey in nice, does nice line work. The heel work that I'm getting from it is really good. You know, you've got the disposable grip option that's available, and the disposable grips are nice quality. However, where I feel like it's let down is the over engineering or the precise engineering. You know, I always think to myself, are they over engineered and are they overpriced? Now, the engineering on these are so precise, I don't know if they may have dropped a bollock, as I say in the UK, with the design of these, because one thing I have noticed is it is a very, very tight fit to get a battery in there. Now, unfortunately, when it had, because they usually come with a sticker on the inside, when I had the sticker on the inside, I really struggled getting batteries in and out, to a point where it was causing the green kind of cover to the battery, it was causing that to kind of peel off. And this is where my problem has kind of happened. Now, I've got one battery that fits in there, tidy, it comes out lovely. My other batteries that I have, two of them have now broken. I don't know if it's because it's the outer coating has affected it. Probably not. They may have just died. Who knows? But anyway, one of the batteries, all this kind of outer plastic or rubber kind of casing for it is peeled up so much that when I was tattooing the other day, I went to change my battery and I couldn't get the battery out, and I literally had to use a pliers just to get that battery out. It's an absolute ball ache to get that battery out. I've tried loads of different ways. I literally can't get this out, and I wouldn't recommend this to anybody, but basically now what I've got to do is take a pliers and try and remove the battery out with a pliers. And that is where my love-hate relationship is with this machine. That really frustrated me because I was in the middle of a tattoo and I couldn't continue with this piece. I had to just, you know, it was just all over. I couldn't find my pliers. So I had to just go like, is that thing when you're tattooing, again, I always go on about efficiency. I was like, I can't get the battery out. I was like, oh, fuck. I have to, you know, swap out to a different machine. And what I found is when I'm using this machine, I'm now having to have a alternative machine set up as a backup just in case the batteries get stuck. And that is my love-hate relationship with this machine. Like, that frustrates me. Now, pros and cons of this machine. Price-wise, in comparison to the rest of the FK irons range, the price is a lot better than the Flux Max, the EXO, and so on. Usability, it is just as good, or if not better, in my opinion. I do prefer the motor in this to the Flux. I feel like it's a little bit softer, and you know, but it's still punchy. It hasn't got the harshness of a brushless motor because it's a brush motor. Now, wrapping it's very easy to wrap. I love the fact that you can actually switch it off. It's got a proper off switch, and I like the fact that you've got the green batteries that you can take out and you can swap around. So the cons for this machine is it should have had a motorbolt feature on there, because like I said, if the batteries get stuck, you can at least, or even if this section breaks, like the electronics breaks, which it can happen, you can unplug it, buy a new battery section and put that back on. Or if you did want to update it and use different batteries like the Flux Max ones, you could. However, I feel like the motorbolt features on the Flux in general they should go with this kind of system where you can swap the battery out yourself, rather than the touch screen stuff that they're coming out with at the moment. You know, I feel like when it comes to power supplies and batteries and so on, you're kind of running before you can walk. You know, there's a lot of issues with the power side of these machines where the battery runs out and so on when it's left overnight. You haven't got a solid on and off feature, and then they're coming out with touchscreen batteries. So maybe get the battery right first before you kind of come out with new ones. But anyway, so a con for me is not having the power bolt. Another con for me is, unfortunately, the price. I do feel like that whilst this is a good machine in the current economic climate, something like this, compared to a lot of other machines that are on the market at the moment, this should be cheaper. I would say for 400 quid. And the other con, and this is the big con for me, is the battery. It's having that worry that the battery's going to get stuck mid-tattoo and I'm having to kind of like change my machine or fanny around with pliers, which then makes you as a professional artist potentially look unprofessional because an over-engineered machine is not working. But I think all in all, using the machine, like, take my pros and cons out of the equation, it has been a pleasure to use. It is a good build quality. It is comfortable to use. The weight on it is not that bad at all. Now, looking at the weight on the website, because I know people want to know how heavy these machines are. So the dimensions of the machine, right, you're looking at 38 millimeters diameter, length 134 millimeters, and the weight is 227 grams. Now, it's not that heavy, so I will say it's very comfortable to use. It doesn't bother you when you're doing longer tattoo sessions and so on. Does it really need a case this size? Probably not. They could have made the case a lot smaller. I don't see the point in having a case this big, but that's just my own personal opinion. Or they could have done it in such a way where you could have added more machines than the one that's in there. Because if you've got a user of FKONE and you've got multiple machines, it'll be handy to kind of add that. What type of tattoo artist would this machine be suited for? Like with every FKONE machine that comes out, you're going to have people that love it, they're going to be fanboying over it. Then you're going to have people that are going to hate it. They'll find something to hate about it. It's going to be one of those situations. Like, I would say that this is going to be suited for somebody that is looking for a machine that is no frills. It just plug and play. It has the cheaper batteries. You have disposable grip options. It's that kind of thing. You switch it on, you switch it off. It just does what it needs to do, and that is help you produce nice, clean, fucking awesome tattoos. I think that is it, really. I think with anything, you can really pick holes at a product, and there are going to be people that are going to be like, oh, it's amazing. There are going to be people like, it's not amazing. Nothing's amazing. I've said this many times. It is a good quality build. It feels sturdy. It feels durable. There are things I would like to change on it, and that's never going to happen, unfortunately. But if you just want to buy a good quality machine that works really well, this could be the one for you. You know, it does the job. Every single tattoo that I've done with it has come out looking really good. They heal really well. The color goes in, saturates really nice. I'm able to push a 67 mag because I've been trying out the new larger mags from Cheyenne, and I've been able to push a 67 mag. I tattooed a fellow artist the other day using a 33 mag on the stomach, and it done nice smooth black and grey. I completely packed out somebody's forearm with the 33 mag doing color, and it put it in effortlessly. So, you know, it is a machine that can be quite versatile and allow you to do a lot of different styles. And I suppose if you're used to it, then you'll just get on with it really well. Like, it does get a thumbs up from me. Again, love-hate relationship with it. Probably gonna have to buy some new batteries because it's broken some of the batteries that I have. So just be mindful of that when you're putting the batteries in and out. I don't know if FKONEs are aware of that, but I think maybe they could do with making the hole a little bit bigger for the battery. So yeah, that is me done. Now, if I've missed anything, if I've left anything out, bang it in the comments below and I will get back to you. So there we go. That is me done. I hope you've enjoyed watching this, and I will catch you in another video. take it easy, and yeah, I'm going to stop rambling now. Ta-ra.